Hey Joe, you may be muted on your end.
Welcome, everyone. Today is another great day. It's sunny here in Florida today, so that's kind of nice. It's been rainy lately. So we're going to go through another 7-day blueprint training to the riches in real estate. So thank you for being here. It's nice to be right straight up here at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And I just want to make sure that you guys are able to hear me and see my screen okay. And those of you who were on the webinar earlier this morning, thank you. That was a great webinar, and we had some pretty good action happening there. Cool deal, Nelson. And good to see you there. I noticed you were there, by the way. So hello and welcome here again. Today, we're going to go through on the social media, some day 6 additional stuff that whereas we're working our way through the social media area, today we're going to focus on Facebook. And what we're going to do is go through the 7 steps to Facebook success, similar to what we did with YouTube last week. So let's make sure that we're paying attention, that we do close down that Facebook and also our mobile phones and all the distractions that we might have. I have my phone put away as well, and so hopefully it doesn't surprise me and ring. I'm on the airplane mode. It's kind of funny because you got to remember to take that off or you never get a call, and that happened to me the other day, and it was like, huh, how come my phone's not ringing? Well, there was the reason. So what do you know about that? So let me give you a little short introduction. What we are going to obviously be talking about is Facebook, and this is an area where you can really, position your business, your client's business over really the absolute largest and most used social media service ever, and in the shortest amount of time, which is obviously Facebook. I mean, it's huge, and we'll get into some statistics in a moment. But it's a great way to really quickly and safely build this huge army of clients and followers, if you will, that are 100% targeted to your agents or your client, their clients. I mean, your clients of any sort, really. Uh, it's a great way to productively contact those clients as well. And it's a great way to scale that business and really take your business to a whole new level. And it's just pretty much going through the steps to make that happen. And the bottom line on this story is, Facebook has got a lot of traffic. There's a lot of people that are there, and it's continuing to grow. And matter of fact, we'll let's get right into why Facebook. And speaking of statistics, and if you were there earlier this morning, Nelson, I went over these in that particular webinar as well, because it's huge. I mean, there's over 1.19 billion active users on Facebook. Now, I mean, that is gigantic. And interestingly enough, there's 5 new Facebook profiles created every second. I mean, it's unfathomable, really. And the average time that a person that spends on Facebook is about 20 minutes. So that's a fair amount of time that you have ability to capture some of these people that are visiting that. As a matter of fact, 510,000 comments are posted every minute. Honestly, I have to say that it's just hard to imagine these kind of numbers. But one good thing is that marketers are pretty well in tune to this, and the 42% of them say that it's really a critical piece. It's very important, and a lot of business fan pages have been created. 16 million local fan pages. So it's really wide open market to for people that need help managing their Facebook fan pages, managing the posting. You've got graphical opportunities with timeline covers and photo insets and this type of thing. Secondarily, to continue on looking at some of these statistics, and if you look at the shoppers, and this would include, home shoppers and people on retail level as well, and these are late-breaking statistics from 2013. 53% of the shoppers, they purchased, from the Facebook pages. So it's not like maybe when it first, ramped up. People are really utilizing these fan pages, and they're growing like crazy. Matter of fact, we're going to look at one in a moment that's a pretty popular one and see what I'm talking about. Now, consumers, they spend an average of $100 from Facebook. So, I mean, there's people there spending money on Facebook, everything from, I mean, we're not going to, we're not like an eBay where we're going to be selling houses on Facebook, but we're going to drive the traffic, however, to the other areas, to the landing pages and to the phone and to the text and things like that. Now, 51% of the fans, they purchase from brands that they like. So the likes are really pretty doggone important as well. And you'll see why a little bit later in the presentation, why that really means something. But just looking at it monetarily, just on 2013, just overall statistics, Facebook fan alike, that's worth about $175. Now, if we narrowed it down, and I don't have this statistic, but if you narrowed it down into just real estate, I would imagine it would be much, much higher than that. And I don't think they track that directly, but I can say that that even $175 for each fan, that's pretty doggone good. 68% of the marketers that are marketing on Facebook say that Facebook ads are very effective as well. And this was an interesting statistic that I had uncovered, was that 834 million people are active mobile users on Facebook. So mobile is really huge, which really ties right into what we're doing here with the mobile landing pages and the mobile video that's directly on there. And when you see that there's that many, and I think I've already shared that once with you guys earlier on, this is a huge, huge amount of people that are, driving around looking at open houses that have, I mean, just look around. Let's face reality. Everybody's, got a mobile phone. And so what's interesting, though, is how many people on a mobile phone are accessing, their Facebook. Well, I see it all the time. I mean, I do some traveling, and so I'm sitting in the airport, and you've got people everywhere, and you kind of look over, and there's somebody, you can tell it's Facebook, and this is not surprising. And in this scenario, and what we're focusing on with the real estate, it's another big thing, as you know. I mean, people drive around, and they are going to scan those QR codes. They're going to text. They're going to call, and it's just going to be a big thing. So the bottom line, as far as Facebook goes, I mean, we just don't really have a choice. We really need to be involved in that. And the agents who don't know about Facebook, I mean, it's not a question of, hey, do you need to be in it? It's just about, like, how good do you need to be? And that's where you guys come in and start educating. And in day 7, we'll get more into that educational process. But this is just one of those situations where you've got to bring the agents, up to speed. I think there's probably, I think we're at the point now that it's crossed the line where it's more of a majority, although not huge majority, that the agents are very much understanding that, hey, this is getting bigger and bigger, and it's growing, and they're getting some clues about it, but they just can't seem to get to it, and because they get so busy. And we've mentioned this before, but this is just what happens. It's just so difficult to take listings, take calls, do marketing and, keep up with social media. And that's always the thing that gets put aside. Always. I mean, I'm guilty myself, and it's something that gets put aside, and you've got to come in there and be that hero, that guy that kind of rescues them. Now, as we said, speaking of education, there's, two different kinds of Facebook fan pages. Obviously, most of you already know this. We've discussed it before, so I won't spend a lot of time on it. But, the typical agent, they understand, hey, there's a personal Facebook account. And I mean, I don't think they understand that they're limited to 5,000 friends, but, they use it for personal use, but they also start integrating a lot of the business and stuff like that. I mean, I've even done that, and that's okay. But it's really, you got to have the other part, the business page, where you can, be more informative and build, some of those community pages where you can get some interaction. And then, of course, it is an unlimited reach in the sense there's no limit. I mean, you've got, pages with millions and millions of people. And, of course, it's nice that you can decide what your URL is going to look like, as we've done a couple of times when in the earlier sessions where we built out one of the fan pages, and as there is obviously the timeline, and you guys have already seen this. I mean, it's nothing new as far as that goes, so we're not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about that. But the agents, I just want to point out that a lot of these agents, and we've seen this, where this is one of those situations where, going here again back to that educational process, where when you, I think I got you guys that one thing where you can look and see which timelines that if they have a timeline, the Facebook Business Finder, or I think that was the software that it was. But the long and short is that this is opportunity for upsell, and it's the opportunity to open that door to really step into the social media realm, and that's a great way to do that. And then you can start segueing into either to the landing pages or some additional social media stuff that you're going to do, and put that in. And so there you go. And so let's take a look at a really popular, now it's not in real estate, so that's okay, but I want to show you, this is Amazon. I mean, there's like 18 million likes. So I just want to point this one out, because the simple fact that, hey, this is one of the biggest retailers, on Facebook, and, they're pretty consistent. They have a pretty good looking page. And just to really just run through really quickly, where, and break down the pieces, because, there's people on the call that may not really totally understand this. So I want to make sure that, we do cover it. So, of course, you've got that cover image, which is your timeline cover. And then, that's where we provided even a lot of those timeline covers in the package, particularly in the blueprint package. You've got those different ones that you're going to be able to use. You've got profile pictures, this kind of thing, and of course the time in the history, that's going to show up when that's built out. So the sooner that these are built out for them, the more longevity is going to show that they've been in the marketplace, and this kind of thing, and all that. So that always helps out. It's going to show how many people have liked the page directly, and you saw that back over here, but this kind of gives you a little bit closer look here of that, and how many people shared it with their friends. The button, of course, where people can agree to like the page, and then this is the message button where you can contact the administrator of that page. There's what type of merchandise. I mean, because some of them, it's going to say like website, or it's going to say that it's a local business, this kind of thing. So you want to make sure that you set those up properly. And of course, the Facebook tabs that we have even spent some time on earlier, when we first talked about that, but those Facebook tabs are huge for driving traffic to those fan pages, and getting those opt-ins. I know a lot of you guys picked up some of those other softwares that we had spoke about, and that really makes a big difference there. And then, of course, the About section. And I just want to spend just a moment. The About section, I think it's somewhere around, I think 150 words or something like that you can fit in there. And anyway, you've got it's an area that you want to really take a close look at, your keyword enrichment and this kind of thing, and really put your best foot, forward there when you're describing, whether it's the agent or directly, or it's about a community or something like that. And I think that's really where the real opportunity comes in, as far as the agents and the upsells and all that kind of thing. And you don't necessarily have to go out there and charge a complete arm and a leg, for just the one page, because you can multiply this a little bit, in the sense that, okay, let's get the one up and running, okay, but there's all these different areas where you can break this down into, subdivisions, cities. I mean, you've got your cities, and you start scaling this down, as we spoke once before, I believe, and that's where you really can focus in and to the direct to a more focused group, and they're going to be a bit more responsive than going out there and saying, hey, Florida overall, for example. That would be bad. It just, well, it wouldn't be bad. It just means that your agent isn't going to be able to service that entire area. Of course, the posting box, now this has gotten a bit more advanced now, so you've got photos and videos and offers and events and all that kind of thing. And I skipped over that. And the friends area, we kind of blocked that out, because but there's friends directly there that show up, that they have, and posts that the administrator of the page has made, and you can assign other administrators. So if you want to outsource this is something that you can outsource. And then if you have a community page, what happens a lot of times on a community page is a person actually in the community sometimes will begin to step in and start monitoring and all that. I mean, it can grow quite exponentially. So that's just a real quick breakdown of the Facebook fan page, just so there is no question about, hey, what's on it, what does it include, that kind of thing. So what are the 8 steps to Facebook marketing? And actually there's a full 8, not actually the 7 that we spoke of earlier. You want to pick the area. You want to create the Facebook page account. You want to create your cover image, create your profile picture, create the About section, and you're going to use the Facebook tabs. And you're going to, step 7 is about posting, and then you want to, drive some traffic and get some likes. So picking your area it's really quite similar to how we pick the area, with the YouTube. It's like, hey, what kind of folks is your agent really trying to reach? I mean, we spoke about the luxury homes. Are they focusing on foreclosures? What exactly is their market, and what do those people really look like? What do they drive? What's the demographic of the people that these agents are really going after? And what are they looking for? Just like I say, hey, are they looking for a luxury home, foreclosures, investments, this kind of thing? And what does your agent really plan on doing for them? And what kind of information do they what would they really be interested in paying for? And whether or not they're paying, or they're just trying to gather information, if it's a free list of homes, or if it's a what's their home worth? I mean, what is it that's going to really be attractive to them? And I can say, just from as everything. I know you guys have, I'm drilling this into you, is that the two top offers that the buyers respond to are free list of homes and what's your home worth. And that's just how it is. Now there's multiple ways to get a free list of home, buyer to get into the funnel, because there's, the foreclosures. I mean, and, you can bring free list of homes. You can expand these as well. Those mobile landing pages that you have, you can modify those to drill down like on golf course homes, horse homes, divorce, waterfront properties. I mean, that list can get bigger and bigger. Luxury homes. You can do luxury home foreclosures. There's a lot of different ways to skin that cat. So picking your area, not your topic, but your area. What money are they actually looking to pay for the home? What market are they in? How would they really want to get the content? Is it email, SMS, whatever? And where are these people at? I mean, are these Canadian buyers? Are they, just in the nation? Are they foreign investors? I mean, there's a lot of that in the marketplace nowadays. A little less in some areas that have kind of, dried up a bit. Arizona being one of them. That's an area where the investors have really dried up some. Now, Florida, it's still going a little stronger, and on some of the East Coast. But market overall has stabilized a bit, but there's still a fair amount of investing going on. What a lot of investors nowadays are doing, or doing a lot of buy and hold. A lot of big hedge funds are buying properties, holding on, and that's where that big rental situation that I spoke to you guys about, and one of the reasons that we actually included the rental landing pages. What are the competitors offering, to your agent's audience? I mean, there's competitors everywhere, and knowing a little bit of that competitive research by searching out some of the other agents. I know that's something that I've always done, is keep a little bit of a feel for what some of the other agents are doing. And hey, there's agents that have great ideas, and some things are working for them, some isn't. Even collaborating with them a little bit. And then it just comes down to a question of, hey, can you help your agent offer a better service than their competitors? And this is just some of those things that you really need to know, just coming out of the chute. And of course, then step 2 is going to be creating your Facebook page and the account, and that's going to be something you'll do for your agent. You'll just need to get the administrative rights, go in. Likely they're going to be more of a local business or place, and what you'll want to do is just narrow that down into real estate. And their matter of fact, there's an agent in the office in Arizona where she gets regular leads just because of this particular local business scenario, because she's being found on Google, and so tying that in directly with that local place can make a difference as far as all that goes. All right, let me look and see here before we go any further, and see if there's any questions that that haven't been answered quite yet. Well, okay. Al was asking, what is the strong why that an agent needs a business page? Beyond the stats, he says, hey, you're looking an agent in the eye, and they say, hey, why do I need that business page? I have my personal page already. Well, let me ask you guys. I mean, what do you think? What's your opinion of that? I mean, we've got enough people here. Let's get some feedback from you and see what you think, and let's share some of those answers. I mean, I have my answer already, but I'm interested in what you feel that would be. Why do you think an agent would? What's the big why for them? Go ahead and type your answer in the chat box. And while you're doing that, let me take a look at some others. Yeah, James, this is day 6. Day 7 is coming up. We split up day 6 because there was just too much to cover to fit it all in, directly. Okay, let's see. We got some answers coming in. Bill says they need as many billboards and ad venues as possible. Good answer. Personal page is personal, not a business page. You've got to separate business from professional. Besides, there's features on the page that can't be done on a personal profile, Justin says. Yeah, absolutely. And if there's any others that would like to answer, please feel free to pop your answer in there. But here's the thing. One of the biggest whys is that is growth. I mean, there's limiting growth. I mean, there's multiple reasons. I don't believe there's a single, absolute why. I think there's multiple whys. It's just a situation where, number one, you really, and Bill hit on this about, not Bill, but Justin hit on about the personal and the business. I mean, it is better to have that segregated, directly. I myself, cross that line a little bit, and honestly, it's you get too deep into it, and then it's hard to really switch that over to some level, and it's something that a lot of agents don't do. And the business page, you don't have a limit on the number of people. I mean, once you got to a certain level, I mean, 5,000, you're done. You can't go any bigger. And and you could very easily have a much larger, fan page than that. Very much so. Bill also he pointed out there's some synergistic opportunities between your website and your Facebook page. Absolutely, that's another big reason. And yeah, and thanks for that, Bill. Bill, he has also pointed out that it's really against the Facebook terms of service to conduct business on your Facebook profile page. So, that's really probably one of the biggest that could really be a super big why to move people over. But I mean, I think but even besides that, there's a lot of big why. The big why is about the fact that, you're talking about a business page. People are going to be able to, they're going to be able to find it better. They're going to be able to focus on it. I mean, why would they have a website that's, their website doesn't sit there and discuss about, their kids and all this other stuff typically. It's talking about, what people are looking for. People are coming there and they're looking to find listings, to find homes and stuff like that. And the real reality of the situation is that one of the biggest things is that branded versus non-branded. Okay, non-branded, it's been tested. I've tested it over the years, and non-branded it converts better. So if they go out there, it's okay, have your personal fan page and all that. But when you have a non-branded site that's going to talk more about like an area or a specific type of thing, like, Tampa foreclosures or break it down to a subdivision or whatever you want to do. But that is going to be more generic, and people are going to respond to that more, and you can provide more of a service than you can, and you're going to get a lot more response than being on the personal. Because here's what, people are not going to respond to so much. I mean, maybe your friends, but and your circle of influence, but just, stranger people that you're going to drive traffic to. And, that's another thing. I mean, driving, the ads and all that to your fan page, that's a big one. And doing the promoted posts and everything else that goes along with that. They're not going to do that so much because on a personal page, because of the simple fact that they're afraid you're going to hound them. They're afraid the agent's going to hound them. That's one of the reasons they don't necessarily, want to call the agent, directly. And they want to get some information first because the simple fact that, it's happened. They've made the call. The next thing you know, they got an aggressive agent that has, more time than money. And he's pounding the phone over and over and over again to try and get, it's not like you're trying to be helpful, the guy or whoever it is. A lot of times they've had this experience where somebody's just pestered them. And, it's happened to all of us, right? I mean, where we've given somebody our name or they've captured it somehow, and then next thing you know, they're just pestering us. And that gets to be a fear factor. And so long story short, the succinctness of it all is that the business page is going to provide a better opportunity for people to interact and in the way that they really want to. And a lot of people don't want to come in there and take that risk of being hounded. Plus, there's a whole bunch of other things that you can do. And Bill points out another item about Facebook probably having a broader reach for your business than your website would have the same amount for the same effort. And I would totally agree with that. I mean, the reach of Facebook versus the website, not only that, and that's why, these likes and everything become really important, and we'll touch on that a little bit later, but it's really critical, because when you have those likes, then it's not like you have to, get somebody to opt in. You can post on your Facebook, and when they're a fan, all of a sudden, it's going to go out there and interact with their newsfeed. And, a lot of people are spending a lot of time, as you saw, commenting and all that. And so when you post something on there like, a house for sale, this kind of thing, there you go. This is a great way to interact, and people see deals, and it's something that makes a big difference. Okay. So, yeah, Bill says initially people will provide their Facebook connection on your Facebook page before they will provide their email address on your website, and that's absolutely true. And not only that, even when you do get the email, the open rates and actually the delivery rate is much less. So, Facebook is a big thing, and it's nothing to be ignored. And I know a lot of people, have not totally embraced it. I mean, particularly, agents, as far as all that goes. And, but, hey, and here's reality. People are going to Facebook to check these agents out, and all the social media. And so if they're not there and they don't have some level of presence, then they're getting passed over. And the people that are, particularly on the agents, or even businesses for that matter, it doesn't matter. I mean, this is interrelated, but we're just focusing on the agents. But if they don't have that presence, the people who are looking to list their home, looking to buy homes, they're going there and they're checking them out. And if they don't have something that looks decent, then they figure, I'm not sure they're really in the game. You know what I mean? And so that's why it's really critical, going back to even to that question that Al asked, it's really critical for these agents to have a presence, because outside the people that they were wanting to do business with, they research them, then look for them. So step 3, we're going to create the cover image, and you know, there's we provided a bunch of different cover images in the package. So you know, everything from the free list of foreclosure homes to the property alerts and the monthly alerts type thing, and all the different what your home worth is, and all the package with the matching tabs for down in this area here, and the picture insets. You've got all that, and I think it's really important. I want to point this out, that this area here where the picture is, now if you like that, great. If you don't, that's okay too. You could put anything, but what you don't want to put there is the agent's picture. Bad idea. You know, I mean, unless it's a you know, a fan page just for them, because although their ego will probably get in the way of that, the people, the buyers, they don't really care. They don't know or want to know or care what they necessarily you know, look like. You know, they what they care about is the information that they're providing, and the education, and you know, some of the stuff around, you know, the area that they would be interested in. And that's something that, you know, I probably had to learn, you know, the hard way, because well, not so much the hard way, but you know, I from testing, what I've learned is that the demand for just information is way greater than people wanting to do business with my face, you know, and my person. It's you know, hey, that happens, but and Paul, you know, Paul says, hey, you think a picture of the agent would provide a more personal touch? You're right, it would. But I'm just saying that the conversion of the people going in there is going to be is going to be higher. You know, it's just gonna. And you know, we've tried it both ways, and that's been my experience. I mean, you can test it out your way as well, and you know, it's all different. I mean, like you know, Bill pointed out something about the social language that the demographic speaks. I mean, like some people speak Facebook. He says others LinkedIn, then others Twitter, YouTube, etc. So you know, you need to, you know, kind of relate with the prospects, and that's a valid point as far as all that goes. And you know, you can test it out. I'm not saying it's like absolutely, you know, against the rules or anything. I'm just saying that, and maybe that's what I did say, and maybe in a way, but what I mean is that if you want the conversions, in my experience, has been that you're going to have better conversions with the non-branded, okay, and versus you know, the agent. And it depends. I mean, you can get a real following with a specific agent, and build that up as well. Don't get me wrong, and that can happen. But anyway, what they're looking for is you're driving that traffic, and they're looking for the information like free list of homes, what's your home worth, this kind of thing. It's not so much about, you know, the person itself. I mean, it's really not. It's just like you know, the pictures on the cards and stuff. I mean, most agents, I mean, they have their pictures on their card, but they you know, it's nice, but it just, honestly, people just don't really care so much about that. As far as the cover image, here's the pixel size and all that. So you've got that, you know, directly there. So, and we have also provided you that that template in the last session. So you've got that as well. Step 4, creating your profile picture. You know, we've provided a lot of profile that match up with some of these offers. You could create individual fan pages for each one of these kind of offers, different areas, that kind of thing. And this is where the posting and all that kind of thing. There's you could set it up with your outsourcers and all that, where you can begin to post and get that going there, because there's a multiple different types of offers that you'd want to do. Those are real simple. And if you want to create direct ones, the size is 180 by 180. So real simple there. Okay. Then, of course, we did speak a little bit about the About section. That's an area where you're going to want to focus in a little bit on some, keywords. It's probably a good idea to include a hyperlinked URL, maybe to that external website that you want to drive the traffic to, or maybe even more of a squeeze page. I think that's more preferred than the website. They're going to get lost on the website. I'd probably take them directly to a squeeze page, and but just kind of be wise with what you're putting there directly, and Bill says message to the market match and congruency from the offer, the bride to the Facebook page. Yeah, that's a good point. And the step 6, Facebook tabs, and this is a great area to drive the traffic to the landing pages. We provided different landing page, Facebook tabs that you can utilize. They're pretty good looking. It's something that when you place those on the Facebook fan page in those tabs, that it's something that you can actually get folks to go directly to the to whatever landing page that you're trying to take them to. So you're going to take them to you can take them to the foreclosure offer, or the rental offer, or the the property homes, this kind of thing, directly from from the tabs. And you can see very easily. You guys know where those are at. We went through that, where you can go directly and change the order, this kind of thing, not a problem. Now posting, this would be your step 7, where you're gonna go in, you're gonna start posting, and there's some pretty good there's some pretty good websites out there that you can take a look at. Here's an example of one that has the new has a home. This is a recent. This is coming soon. Text the words "go to," etc. Foreclosure deal of the week. It's a they can call or text for more pics or details. On the posting, what obviously you want to do is you want to post something of value, and kind of think about it before you're deciding to put that post there, because the post is going to last typically around 3 to 4 hours. Question type posts are great. That's going to get some interaction. Just you don't got to post like one after another. If you do, like for an agent, you might end up doing 5 to 10 posts, maybe a week max. A couple times. It just depends on where a day is probably about the max you're going to probably do, and it depends on how you contract with them. Post experiment for views. Do like a little experiment for likes, comments, and shares. Kind of adjust your posting to your audience. And every once in a while, maybe you've got some kind of present or something that you can give them. And of course, the short text posts, those work, pretty good. I think I pulled this one up, this West Shore. I just want to show you, because I thought they did a pretty decent job. They've got some different posts in here that you can see. that they're not just doing posts about, and this is one of the things about the fan page, is that they're not just doing posts about houses that are for sale. They've got some stuff that is in the area as well. And so, there's a little wellness area, this kind of thing. They're talking about some, gifts in the area, stuff like that. And then they sprinkle in the posts regarding, the homes and stuff as you kind of go down here and it loads up. Get a little internet slowness in some areas around there. But it's as you can see, you've got some some interaction, and you've also got over here they're popping in some coming soons and all that, and that's always a good idea before the homes are listed, doing the coming soon. That will help the agent get a jump on the market and be able to double in the listing, which if they sell both sides of that, then there is, obviously commission because they get both sides. These are doing a multiple, like creating a photo album. This is a good approach to this, and you can take each photo even and see each one has this directly on there. So creating a photo album is a pretty good way to go as far as on the posting. And that's kind of what you can do now with the advanced little posting area there. It doesn't have to be 20 photos, and we can a minimum of 4 you're going to want to do. But put your call to action in there, because 4 is going to show up like this. If you do 3, it's going to be an empty spot there, so you don't necessarily want to do that. Okay, but you can see this is kind of as far as the posting goes, this type of posting is what you're going to want to do. Now, some you can take, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be a post of a actual home that the person is selling, because you can do like generic homes. So one thing that you want to avoid though is like posting a home from New Hampshire in Arizona, because you're going to get slammed with that by people that know that a home from New Hampshire is not existing in an Arizona area. So the photo album for each property, probably not every single one, Bill, no, but the majority of those. Pictures are a big thing. And I want to point that out, is that people really love pictures. It's really a time thing as far as that goes, Bill. Because there's a little bit of load time and stuff there that you got to deal with. But it is absolutely something that people like. There's more interaction on the multiple, photo stuff, which really goes back to the testing, even in the print. People responded more to more photos than the single page photo or the half page, or even the split of 4 or 8. Back when we had that kind of question about how many photos. Huge. People want photos, and also some crisp high definition photos is a good thing. Nothing, don't put anything up there blurry or anything like that, or it'll just that kind of kills it. What you're trying to do here is put the photos that is of a home that you think would be like the most attractive home of all for multiple buyers, and it can be generic. As a matter of fact, the generic type ads work really well in terms of attracting leads, and it's okay. It's not against any kind of rules to do that. You got to be cognizant of you're not going to put up their pricing, as far as monthly payments, so without disclosing all the terms, because of Regulation Z, which is a regulation that states that, you know, if you're going to talk about interest rates, then you got to disclose, you know, the entire thing, you know, in the MySprint. So, yeah, and Bill says, and you could offer also more pics on the individual website. So, yeah, you could say, hey, here's 4 pictures, and hey, would you like to see another 20 on our website? Hey, you know, click here, and it takes you to the website or to a squeeze page that you know, you're trying to get an opt-in of some sort. You know, directly there, or this is where you take them to the fan page that they would have to like the page in order to see the additional photos. You follow? It's because, you know, you just don't want to like totally give it away here. You want to try to attract something out of this whole interaction. Okay. What is TWP? Where did you see that, Paul? I didn't see it. TWP. Did I say something about TWP? I'm not sure on that one. Back to Bill's question. He said, should you post as the respective Facebook page and then come back and like the post as the Facebook page? Yes, you can do that. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. And so would I do that? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Bill already answered it. Township, TWP. Yeah, I understand now. Okay. You looked it up. All right, Paul. Good for you. Yeah, you beat me to it. I just didn't know where you saw it in the context of it. So sorry. That I don't have. I just didn't see that. So okay, let's go back and hop back into here. So posting. The other thing that you're going to probably want to do is give some thought, and this is where your agent can, you know, belly up to what type of budget that they may want to, or however you have it situated, if you're going to, you know, do a per lead scenario or what, but utilizing, you know, the promoted post. So you can boost that post up and drive some traffic to the post, and then have your call to action where you're going to attract, you know, that opt-in, then their name and, you know, email typically, and then the agent can, you know, begin to do the follow-up process. I mean, those lead costs are going to vary, but you can choose the budget, and those type of posts that we were just talking about there, that's something that works pretty well for driving traffic. I network with a lot of other agents around, and that's one thing that they've been having good success with. You know, there was one guy I talked to recently. He spent about $50 and got 30 leads just with that one of those type of posts. And it depends on you know, as you begin to, you know, drive the likes and the popularity of the page up, that's going to obviously grow some as you gain some popularity and get some momentum. Yeah, Justin, I don't have the details. Justin's asking about the change in the policy where each admin will be identified. So if outsourcing it could cause issues. Yeah, I don't know about that entirely. It's something that, like you say, it's a little sketchy right now. So if we get some information on it, we'll get you info. I don't have any specifics on that right at the moment. Okay, so step 8 is let's get some likes. You know, likes are a big thing. Obviously, getting the likes can be very much you know, a critical piece to, you know, growing the fan page. And it's you know, here's an opt-in box. I mean, I'd rather have a like almost than an opt-in, in the sense that when you're growing these pages out, I mean, it's a lot easier to click than it is to fill out an opt-in form. And, you know, you pretty much know the intention. These are real people. It's easy to read. You know, there is no opt-in rate because, hey, they're there. and it does have some viral power because now we're talking about, sharing, and then when it goes on their Facebook page, on their news feed, it's going to their friends' news feed, and of course, there's no real cost to when you've got that built up and you're posting and it's going. I mean, this is how these things go viral. You know that, and so how do you get the likes? I mean, obviously there's going to be some organic likes, but one of the big ways is going to be through your Facebook ads. And let's see, I'm trying to get this to change. No, I'm getting too far ahead here. Is the Facebook ads. Now, we did provide some Facebook ads directly in there for you that you can utilize. This is not necessarily designed for likes, but those ads. But it's designed to attract, some of the agents and stuff, and you can drive that traffic, to your opt-ins. But driving, some traffic for the likes, and of course building that up, you can do pretty inexpensively. Most of you're going to want to do those over here on the right-hand side ads, not so much the newsfeed ads. Okay, that's not where you're going to really, want to really go for, directly. So the long and short of it is that the biggest probably thing of the whole scenario here is going to be on your posting, on driving the traffic directly, to the page. Your agent is going to ultimately, you're going to need a budget here from the agent of what they're going to, because you can't just go out there, create a page, and just generically all of a sudden it just grows massively. I mean, there's a certain amount of that, but you've got to drive the traffic, and one of the least expensive ways to do that is going to be through some of the Facebook ads, the promoted posts, directly. And it doesn't have to be $50 a day. I mean, it can be $4 or $5. You can test certain things out, and as the post and just the consistent posting, this is where things get there, and also on the keywords, and also getting into some of the trending stuff that's going on that would be interrelated, that can drive some of that traffic, as well, as far as the on the real estate trends. I mean, there's a lot of different things that are going on all over the country, and this kind of thing, as well as locally, and that's really the biggest focus is locally, where the agent is directly. So questions. What questions do we have that have not been answered directly? Let me kind of scroll down here and see what questions that we have on here directly. Looks like we've done a pretty good job of answering the questions here today. So that pretty well it sums up the Facebook portion here directly. And so essentially what we've went through is all the 8 steps of getting these Facebook pages up, and some of the top really the top ways to do the posting for the real estate to drive the traffic is with the generic photos, or the photos of the homes directly. I mean, you're not going to probably get a lot of action on some, but I've seen some people do this with some dilapidated homes, and it's really more of a joke than it is. It's kind of funny. Sometimes you do get some activity there, but it's not necessarily from real buyers. So and real type of leads, But what does work is those attractive looking homes that you drive the traffic and drive it to, either a Facebook, like gate, or to the opt-in where they're looking to, or they're trying to text for information. That's another great way to do that. But getting those homes that really are attractive looking, and like I say, don't don't put the New Hampshire home in Arizona or vice versa. That Spanish look is not really attractive on the East Coast, and as well as the other way around. So let's see. Bill says billing the agent for Facebook ads, determine the monthly budget, and well, yeah, how do you manage the expectation in that situation? Well, that's going to be one of those deals where it's going to be, you have to be tied somewhat, to results. And it's kind of like anything with the agent. What you've got, you've got to just get them to understand that, like in advertising, like any advertising, when you're doing, I mean, this is not, it's going to take a little bit of time. They can't go out there. They can't go put their, toe in the water. It's like being a little bit pregnant. I mean, you're all in here for a certain amount of time, and the best thing to do is a 6-month agreement, because they need to get 6 months to really get their things ramped up. I mean, you couldn't do a Google. If you're doing SEO, it's not going to happen like in a month's time. You're going to have a longer time to get things, happening. $10 a day, 30 days a month, $300 ad spend. I mean, here's the thing. There's agents spending $1,000 a month. I mean, you take, all right, there's companies right now that they charge and what they're charging for is just to be in their system, where what they're doing is they're going out, they're buying the Google pay-per-click, they're driving the traffic to a website that converts the lead, where it's either because of searches or it's because, going back to the pictures, and then they're charging on top of that. So it's almost $2,000 a month just to be a part of this service that drives the pay-per-click to this page that they created, which is essentially just a web page. Now there's a CRM in the back end that helps to manage and do some of the follow-up, but I mean there's people paying this. So I mean there's like loads. Matter of fact, it's like hard to get in. You can't. It's locked down. So it's not that the agents don't have the money to spend. There's plenty of agents that do. It's just it's not necessarily going to be the guy right out of real estate school, and it could be, because, it could be a guy, like, I mean, take myself. I came out of the automotive industry. I was making multi-six figures, and I went into real estate. I mean, I had some backing that I could go out and did. I spent a load of money on advertising and created that flow of traffic. So what would I charge for managing the campaign? It depends on what I feel. I charge $200 an hour. So depending on how many hours that would take me, and I would figure that out and charge according. That would be my pay scale. And it could be more or less. I mean, it just depends on, if you're just starting out, or if you're pretty well heeled and you feel confident and you got some things going. Hey, listen, the more clients that you have, the higher the price can go. Let's face it, because you can only handle so much. I mean, you can scale this up, but you also want to be. I mean, if you want the word to spread, you can't take yourself out of the market, because if you get too expensive, then there's something to be said about that as well. But you don't want to be too cheap. I mean, there's a fine line here between being too inexpensive and overpriced, and it's a balance between you trading your time and how you scale it up. And if and the thing is, the concept here is that you guys, there is no barrier. I mean, like somebody that works, I mean, the agent, I mean, they're locked in. I mean, they have a license in Arizona. Well, they can sell houses in Arizona, and they live in, Phoenix, well, they're going to sell houses maybe in the surrounding metropolitan area, but they're pretty much, that's it. But you guys, I mean, you could go nationwide, even worldwide for that matter, with this scenario. So every area is going to be different. It just, that's going to depend on how you want to scale it up. But I would say that's a good baseline, a couple $100 an hour. And as far as that goes. Now the agent, and once you get some testing under your belt and you kind of understand how this works for you, then and what you are able to do, and the only way you're going to be able to do that is by going out and testing. And so you might get a couple of guinea pigs, get some beta testers. Like I said before, hey, it's okay. Give away some of these mobile video landing pages. Get some people, get some testimonials, and then that really opens up, the door for you to the other areas. And it could be a similar situation, here if you don't have much going on right at the moment. I mean, I'm not saying you got to go out and do everything free. Don't get me wrong. I mean, time is money. So, my opinion of the real estate directory on Facebook, which is free, but well, it's not free. It's free to get in, and then the upsell comes. It's like anything. I mean, hey, strawberries are cheap, but whipped cream and the shortcakes are is what gets you. And it's a similar situation. Nothing wrong with it. It's actually a pretty good model, and people do it, and it's a pretty good system. Matter of fact, there's some people that are I mean, that's a system you can even manage for somebody, and they pay the bill. So actually, that's not a bad. I like it. As a matter of fact, I even use it, but I don't use all the stuff in it because I'm just cheap. But but it is something that is definitely it's a good deal. Yeah, they do a pretty good job. Pretty good job. Okay, so any other questions I can answer for you right now before we wrap up today? Okay. All right, guys. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming today. We're going to have the next session on February 18th. That's going to be next Tuesday, and that's going to be at 3 o'clock, and we're going to go through the local webinar stuff. And if there's anything you need as far as support, once again, yes, it was recorded, John, and so we'll get that up in the members area. And so I appreciate you guys coming. If there's any support questions, here's the support line as well. And it's been really good. I think it was great interaction with you guys. I appreciate it. And we will talk to you next Tuesday. I really appreciate it. If anything pops up in the meantime, you let us know, and we'll be here for you. And thanks a million, and have a great week.